I check in today? I have no idea. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's Thursday night. It's 10:10 currently. And I have just bound off my clue 1. I'm about a day behind, but I have finished clue 1 and I'm very excited, so I'm going to show it to you. Are you ready? So I haven't done the braids yet. This is the top, that was the bottom. I kind of wanted to show like how big mine was. I was watching Martin from Knit 365 today and he like held his up to his chest and I was like, okay, I've been worried mine's really big, but his looked kind of similar size wise, so I think we'll be okay. These are the remaining of my first skeins so far. So for my main color I used 56 grams, and for this color I have used 60, which that's compared to some other people's gram usages, I'm maybe making it a little looser. I'm a little nervous. So I just reweighed and it was like 54 and 57, which is a little bit better. I have no idea. Used. They're both in their 40-ish grams. Anyway, we'll be fine. Maybe I go down in needle size next time around. I don't know. I'm going to do a little research when I'm scrolling on my phone in bed, which I know I shouldn't do, but I've been doing it anyway. Anyway, I wanted to show you the little before and after when I do these braids. So this is the before and after I did my braids. I feel like this on my chest looks very huge. Compared to my face, it's very huge. I mean, the crazy thing is this was like 100 grams of yarn, roughly, a little under. Sorry, I'm just like staring at it in the screen. Anyway, my clue 1 is done. I will start my clue 2 tomorrow. My initial thoughts, I have already looked at what the next clue is, but my initial thoughts was like, I thought we were going to continue maybe going this way and like picking up in these loops somehow, but also knowing that there's no way, like if this is the center, it's going to be wide enough. So having known that we're kind of going this way next makes some sense. I really love my colors, guys. I really like the braids. I think they're so cool, fun to do. I think it's a nice like kind of palette cleanser at the end of this lots of knitting clue. Ooh, let me tell you how long this clue took me. So I've tracked all of my time and I'm hitting stop now because I just finished doing the braids. Apparently I did 4 hours and 1 minute today. So I'm gonna mark off my clue 1, and my total time for clue 1 was 25 hours, 53 minutes, and 41 seconds. Crazy. But yeah, here's my finished clue, and we will start the next clue soon. And here's my remaining bit of yarn. I will see you guys soon. I am going to bed. I am tired. And we will start clue 2 in the morning. Yay! Good morning. I am sitting in the exact same spot that I was sitting last night because I haven't moved my camera. Look at Sherlock sleeping. I got up a little early this morning, have been working on clue 2. I have done about 1 repeat of this pattern. of Clue 2 and I'm in section 2. I love it so much. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So this section incorporates our accent color. And so this is my accent color. This is from Nerdstring. It's Chartreuse with Envy. And so this section I'm holding my 2 greens together. So my Porter Wool Company color with my Nerdstring color. I love how they look like that. And so this is what my section 2, Clue 2 section 2, is that the way I should say it? Looks like so far. Look at it. So what we did is from the braids, we then turned sideways and picked up and we're going out. So the whole thing kind of looks like this. And then this is what my 2 colors look like. I think this little bright pop is so fun. And I'm not a bright pop kind of person, but I really, really like how this is looking. I think the whole thing looks so good. So I've done about 1 repeat, because a repeat is basically this garter wedge, and then this is a twisted ribbing, plus picking up the stitches this morning. So this has taken me about 90 minutes. So I think it'll take a little less time, because obviously I'm not picking up stitches every time I do the repeat, and with this being mostly garter, it's gonna go really fast. I love it. Oh, I think it looks so good. Another thing I have done, because I was kind of worried, is I've gone down to a size 3 needle versus a size 4. A size 4 is what's called for in the pattern and what I used for Clue 1. And I did the little gauge swatch that he recommends. I mean, I did like 4 rounds of garter, 4 rows. And my gauge was smaller than what was called for. However, I think once I started, I got a little looser because I was getting comfortable, because my gram usage in Clue 1 was a bit higher than some other people's I'd seen. And since the width of this is kind of set by this one, I went down a needle size because I knew it wouldn't affect the gauge too much to pick up, because that's like setting it. And then if anything, my fabric's just going to be a bit tighter here by going down a needle size, and the height of this section might not be as tall, but I think it'll be okay. Because then the next section is picked up along another edge, so that edge will be determined by the height of this section. So I think it'll be fine. Like, I'm not going to get any weird gaping holes or anything. I think it'll stretch out to where it needs to be. I mean, a size 4 US 4 needle is a 3.5 millimeter, and a size 3 US 3 is a 3.25. So there's a 0.25 millimeter difference. So I'm not too concerned, but I did want to tighten up just a smidge based on just seeing like my gauge and the looseness of the fabric in section 1. It is a little loose, so tightening up in this section I think will be nice. I love it. I love it so much. You see his little foot sticking out. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We have to do this little wing on both sides. And then we have some cables next. So yeah, I am going to go get ready for the day. It's Friday morning. We have just one more work day until the weekend. And my weekends involve packing many boxes and knitting on my Mystery Knit Along. Yay! And editing the first video of this that you have already seen, because I said in that video that That video was gonna go up yesterday and I still haven't even edited it yet. Anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee, my Somerset Camp mug, and get on with the day. Happy Saturday. It's about 11:30. We've been packing, watching a little TV, kind of doing off and on of each. So I'm loving section 2. This is how much I've done. So I had to go till we get 4 of these contrast stripes, but I love it so much. So it's like all knit and garter stitch. And then the twisted rib, which I really am not minding at all. 6 rows of ribbing, and it's like 70 stitches. Not a big deal. I was doing some reading last night in bed about section 3, and I'm pretty sure section 3 is garter stitch made with purl stitches instead of knit stitches. So section 3 might not be as fun as section 2. But I've done this pretty quickly. I've spent 4 hours so far in clue 2 in section 2, so not too bad. And I'm more than halfway done because I've done 3 of these 4 stripes. You're supposed to do 5 of this dark green panel. So maybe another hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, before I can start section 3 on this side. But I'm loving it so far. So we're getting ready to eat lunch, and then I'm gonna hopefully edit a little bit of video, and then we'll pack a little bit. Hi, so it's Monday night and I've just finished section 3 of my MKAL. So I wanted to show you guys what it's looking like. So at the end of both section 2 and 3, we put our live stitches on waste yarn or an additional cable needle to leave the stitches live but on hold. So since I have my Chiagu interchangeables, I'm just using extra cords from that. And I finished both those 2 sections. And this is what it looks like. I think it looks so good. So I've just finished section 2 and section 3. And if you're a part of the MKAL, you'll know that section 2, you do garter stitch by making knit stitches, and then in section 3 the pattern is written that you do garter stitch by purling. So I went into section 3 with all intents and purposes of purling as it's written in the pattern. Got about halfway through the first wedge and realized my gauge was completely different. It was very loose, it was not even at all. So I went delving into the Ravelry threads because I had seen some people who had changed and modified the pattern to switch to a knit rib versus the purl rib, but it just gets a little confusing with these accent color stripes. So I was able to find a really useful post in the Ravelry group in the forums, and it's actually now like the unofficial how to switch. But I've also taken really good notes in my Ravelry project page, so I was gonna talk through kind of what I did if that's helpful to anyone. It took a lot for my brain to get around, and for a while I was like, well, if you just knit every stitch instead of purling, wouldn't that just work? And the problem is you pick up on the right side, knitting that row, and then that first row you purl back. The main issue is because you have to do your short rows starting on the right side, and with the number of rows, just doesn't work out. It's still hard for my brain to wrap around completely why we couldn't just start knitting, but you just can't. You just can't. So for section 3, row 1, I do it as it was written, which is, I'm pretty sure, the pickup row. Row 2, I do it as it was written, which is you purl back that first row. And then at the beginning of row 3, there's an instruction to pick up 3 stitches, and I did that. And then I skip row 3. You break your yarn. You do the same thing where you slide your stitches to the other end. And so you've just done a purl row, but you've slid your stitches. So that purl row you just did, you're looking at the wrong side of it. And then you start knitting every row from there on. And then what happens is, because you skipped that row 3, you'll start your short rows on the 3rd row instead, because you're supposed to do 4 rows of garter stitch. You start your short rows on the 3rd, and then you close. Once you do all your short rows, you do 1 more row in your main color to close all the short row gaps, and then you'll start your accent color on the right side and not on the wrong side like it's written in the pattern. I have it all linked down below in my project page, and I'll probably write out too what's in my project page in case you can't get it, because it's really hard to wrap your brain around, especially if you're not knitting it, and if you're not knitting this pattern you're like, Kristen, this makes no sense. It's still hard for me to wrap my brain around, so just know you pick up, and instead of doing 4 garter rows at the beginning, so you do 3 rows of garter on the 4th row, instead of doing another garter row, you're starting your short rows from the wrong side. And then once your short rows are done, don't do your accent color from the wrong side. Do your last main color row to close the short row gaps in the main color, like you did on the other side, and then you will start your accent color with a knit row from the right side. Those are the big things to know. But with all that being said, if you're not knitting the pattern, you won't necessarily care about any of that, but if you are and you want to change section 3 from purling to knitting, hopefully that helps. I do think the 2 sections are pretty identical. Technically I messed up on my first ridge because I didn't understand, so it has 15 garter ridges instead of 16, but overall I think we are doing okay. I did also break into my second skein of my main color, which freaked me out a little bit. I immediately went to Ravelry in that forum to see if anyone else had posted started my second main color skein, and someone asked if other people had, and a lot of people replied saying, yeah, I did. So makes me feel good. I have this much left, my Porter Wool Company, and this much of the green. I haven't had a chance to weigh them yet, but I will soon and get that updated in my project page. But I wanted to do a quick little update on YouTube after finishing section 2 and section 3. I think it's looking really cool. A lot of people are saying it kind of looks like bat wings or dragon scales. I don't know. It's really nice, and I love how long it is. Like, I can already kind of shrug it on my shoulders, which is really cool. I really like it. So it's Monday night. I'm hoping to get this edit and get this up. So in case anyone is still working on clue 3 or wants to, hopefully that helps. If not, it's okay. So I have 2 more sections to go in this clue before Thursday morning. It's Monday night. So that's basically saying 1 section tomorrow night and 1 section Wednesday night, which seems unlikely. However, maybe it won't be. I won't know until I begin working on those sections, how long they're actually going to take. They do have some new elements in them. I won't spoil it in case you want to know. So yeah, I'm going to end this video here so I can get it up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this vlog has been okay. If you're new to my channel, thank you for coming along in this little ride, my vlog of my MKAL experience. Please feel free to like the video, leave a comment down below your thoughts. Are you working on the MKAL? Did you switch your pearls to knits? If you're not, would you have? Because I really didn't plan to switch my pearls to knits, and then I started it and my gauge was so different. The purling wasn't the issue, it was that since they're supposed to be mirrored, the gauge really looked really different. So yeah, please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to know when I post future videos, and I will continue working on this, and I'll check in with you guys very soon. Hope you're putting a little bit of love into every stitch you're making, and I'll see you soon. Bye.